Immortality. Since the dawn of man, there has been the idea of immortality and how to discover the fountain of youth. Intellectual thinkers have been thinking about life and the pursuit of immortality, dating as far back as human race goes. It is imprinted in all of our DNA to strive to live and stay alive as long as possible. Philosophers have had many different hypotheses about immortality. We will look at what Socrates and Plato think about immortality as we ask ourselves, should we be looking for the fountain of youth? One of the central ideas of immortality is death. At some point we will all die, and it is the thought of death that makes us all wonder if there is anything after death. It is said that before being executed by an Athenian jury for not believing in the gods of state, Socrates discussed the afterlife. While I have no doubt that Socrates had given much thought to death and the afterlife, you might guess that if you knew you were going to be executed, you may be a bit more concerned with your own mortality. As told by Phaedo of Elis, Socrates showed no fear of dying because he believed that his soul is immortal, and gives 4 arguments for the soul's immortality. The first argument for the soul's immortality is the cycles and opposites argument, that the forms are eternal and unchanging. The soul always brings life. The body is mortal and the subject of physical death, and the soul must be its indestructible opposite. Alive is the opposite of being dead, and we come from death and go towards death. Thus we had life before being born and shall have life after we die. The second argument is the theory of recollection, that says the soul existed before birth to carry knowledge. An example of this is that when we are born with things that we inherently know, similarly to the way reflexes work in the body. It is our body remembering thoughts from our previous lives. The third argument is the affinity argument that explains that invisible, immortal, and incorporeal things are different from the visible, mortal, and corporeal things. Our soul is invisible, while our bodies are mortal. Thus, when we die, our souls will continue to live. And the last argument is from form of life. Forms are incorporeal and static entities, and they are the cause of all things in the world. Forms are classifications of things. An example of this would be numbers. They can be even or odd, but they are either one or the other. Forms are immaterial and eternal, thus being immortal, and the soul shares the attributes of the forms, thus making it immortal. While searching for the fountain of youth is an exciting idea, Socrates explains why our souls are immortal, but our physical form bodies have an expiration date. And one day, with the help of AI, humans may live a very long time. I do not believe that we are designed to live forever. We are born from the earth, and when we die, that energy will return to the earth. Thus, the energy is immortal, and it never ends. It just continues the cycle.